guys, welcome back to my channel and happy Monday. For those that don't know me, my name is Kristen Martin. I'm the Amazon indie best-selling author of 4 books. I am a writing coach, a YouTuber, a podcaster, and an entrepreneur. I created this channel in March of 2015 in the hopes that it would inspire and motivate aspiring authors to write and publish their books, as well as to share my own experiences along the way to help others avoid the same mistakes that I made. So real quick, I do want to let you guys know that I am doing a very special video next Monday, February 26th. I will be revealing the cover as well as the release date for the second book in the Shadow Crown series called Renegade Crew. I will be revealing the cover and the release date early, so it'll be kind of like a first look the weekend leading up to that Monday. So if you want to kind of get a first look and a sneak peek at the cover and the release date, make sure to sign up for my newsletter. You can do that over on my website at kristenmartinbooks.com. There will be a pop-up box. You just enter your email address, and for some reason, if that pop-up box doesn't appear, you can always scroll down to the very bottom and there will be an area for you to subscribe. Okay, so I did a poll on Twitter a while ago asking you guys what types of videos you wanted to see on my channel in the future, and I can't even remember what options I had put in that poll, but I know one of them was fight scenes. I also know that I have not put up a video on how to write fight scenes. So I feel like it's perfect timing because it's Valentine's Day, or it's just past Valentine's Day. So for those that are, you know, a little bit like, ugh, that aren't really into that mushy, gushy holiday type stuff that Valentine's Day entails, this video is perfect for you, and it's coming at the perfect time because instead of talking about love, we're gonna talk about fighting. So yes, today's video is going to be all about how to write a realistic fight scene. Number 1, there needs to be an inciting incident of some sort. Just like there's an inciting incident in your book that kind of drives the plot forward and moves the story forward, you also need an inciting incident for a fight. So a lot of the time there does need to be a valid reason for this massive fight to break out. And this may seem kind of obvious, but I think some people will kind of miss this key piece and 2 characters will just start fighting, but it really hasn't been explained why they're fighting. Or 2 sides will start to fight, and again, there was no explanation as to what the buildup was, what the incident was, why are these 2 sides fighting. If you're having trouble coming up with your inciting incident for a fight or the valid reason for a fight, a lot of fights break out because 2 people or 2 different sides believe 2 different things, and they believe so strongly in their own opinions and their beliefs that they will fight most of the time to the death for what they believe in. So if you're having an issue figuring out what your inciting incident should be, just make sure you understand these 2 characters, what their beliefs are, and if they're different, then I mean, that's a valid reason for a fight. Number 2 is to determine the type of fight that is about to take place. And what I mean by type of fight is it going to be hand-to-hand combat? Are there going to be weapons involved like knives, swords, guns? Or are you in a fantasy world where there will be magic involved? Determining the type of fight is really important because of course you want to make sure that both sides are well equipped to fight one another. And at least for me, in my books and my stories, I don't really want to give one side the advantage where you say, oh, they have to win, I know they're gonna win. I kind of like both sides to be equal in that really either one of them can win, because I feel like that way the tension is increasing and there's a buildup and your readers are curious to know and see how this fight is going to pan out. Similarly, with the type of fight, if it's hand-to-hand combat and you have never been in, you know, a fist fight before or any sort of fight, then you may want to do your research on hand-to-hand combat and kind of just get more background knowledge on that. I am actually a black belt in Taekwondo, so both my sister and I are black belts in Taekwondo, and even though it's been a long time since I have practiced Taekwondo, I still remember the movements. I still remember when we would grapple, which is ground fighting, which is why in the Alpha Drive trilogy there is a lot of grappling and ground fighting going on, because that's something that was very heavily focused on in my lessons. We also used to spar. We put on the crazy, you know, marshmallow outfit, like we looked like the Michelin Man, but we'd put that on and we would start to spar and we'd practice our different techniques. And so knowing how it feels to be hit in certain places and having that experience has really helped me to be able to write fight scenes that, at least in my opinion, feel realistic and seem like they could actually happen. You know, same with weapons. You need to understand how guns, how knives, how swords, how all of these things work, and how if they hit certain parts of the body, what happens to the body when when it's impacted. And again, same with magic. You need to make sure your magic system is fully fleshed out and you understand the consequences of using certain magic in a destructive or a negative way. What is the impact? What is the consequence? What is it going to do to another person if that person comes into contact with it or if it is forced upon them? Number 3 is to make sure your characters are equipped with the proper tools, especially if you're wanting a specific character to win. But then again, you don't want to make it too easy. This is what I was just talking about making sure that both sides of the fight are equal and that really it's anybody's game, because that increases the tension. It really intrigues the reader. They want to know more. They want to see who's going to win and how this fight is going to pan out. But you do have to make sure your characters are equipped. You can't just throw a gun or a sword or some crazy weapon into one of your characters' hands if they've been very kind of sheltered their whole life and maybe they grew up very, just kind of naive, and maybe their family was really against violence. You can't just throw a sword or a gun into a character's hands without some sort of training or something to indicate to the reader that this character knows how to use this weapon. Number 4 is to do your research. And a lot of the time, by reading fight scenes in other books and also watching fight scenes in movies, you can really learn a lot and get a better feel as to how you can write your fight scene. So for hand-to-hand combat, I recommend studying things like Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, karate. If there are swords and guns in your book, or that's a huge part of your fight, then make sure you do your research and understand how they work, and also what the after effects of that weapon being used on someone else would be. So a quick warning, these next 2 statements I'm about to make are going to be a little bit on the graphic side, but I really want to make sure I drive home this point. So it sounds obvious, but shooting someone just anywhere on their body may not kill them right away, especially if the bullet has an exit wound and hasn't hit a vital organ. Now with swords, slicing certain areas of the body may be fatal, whereas other areas of the body may result in a slower bleed. And again, if your fight scene contains magic, that's your world, and you're going to have to decide the rules of your world and make sure it's as realistic as possible. I know it's hard to say for fantasy, but you still have to make sure that the impact and the way you're writing things makes sense. If someone gets hit with an electric spark or like a lightning bolt, then you need to understand the after effects on the body once it does get hit or once it's been electrocuted or essentially fried. And lastly, number 5 is to consider the after effects. So if your character was knocked unconscious during a fight, then it's very unlikely that a few hours later they're going to be totally okay and ready to continue down the plot of your book. Also, you want to make sure you consider who the fight was with, because there needs to be some sort of tension or maybe some minor conflict before the fight in order to create that buildup for the fight to happen. And then of course, even after the fight, there may still be some tension between those characters, so that's another thing to look out for. So that is it. Those are my 5 steps to writing realistic fight scenes for your book. If you like the content today, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up to support my channel, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future writing advice videos. All of my Amazon best-selling books, The Alpha Drive, The Order of Omega, Restitution, and Shadow Crown, are available for purchase on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, as well as the Book Depository and Books A Million. And if you read and like my books, it would really help me out if you would leave a rating and a review on Amazon. I also want to let you know that you can order autographed copies of all of my books, and I am now offering box set pricing for the Alpha Drive trilogy. For more information on how to get your hands on autographed copies, please go to my website at KristenMartinBooks.com and click on the Buy Books tab on the menu bar. If you are a fan of audiobooks, make sure to check out my affiliate link with Audible in the description box below. You can get a free audiobook download and a free 30-day trial for their service. Registration for my self-study coaching program for writers called Valiance is now open. If you're ready to turn your dream of becoming an author into reality, then this program is definitely for you. Make sure to check out all of the information at KristenMartinBooks.com. Just click on the Valiance Coaching Program tab on the menu bar. You can also find the links in the description box below. There is a freebie up on my other website at thatsmarthustle.com called 5 action steps you can take right now to start showing up for your dreams. And if you benefit from that guide, then you will absolutely love my mini webinar series called Hustle Smarter, Not Harder. To learn more, read testimonials, and sign up, go to thatsmarthustle.com and click on the webinars tab on the menu bar. And if you just can't get enough of the girl boss vibes, make sure to check out my podcast called That Smart Hustle. It's available on iTunes and SoundCloud. You can find the links in the description box below. In January, I did reveal the stops for my first ever domestic book tour for the US and Canada. So I did reveal all of that on social media. In case you missed it, and you want to know where I'm heading to this year on my book tour, go to my website at kristenmartinbooks.com and scroll down. You will see a nice image where you will see all of the dates as well as the cities I'll be stopping in. If you're not already following me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, make sure you do that for daily writing inspiration and advice, as well as to stay up to date on any price promotions, announcements, or giveaways that might be going on. If you have a question or think of a topic for one of my next videos, please leave it in the comments down below. Don't forget to sign up for my newsletter if you want a first look at the cover reveal and the release date for Renegade Crew. Other than that, I want to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. I post new writing advice videos on Mondays and personal day in the life vlogs on Thursdays. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hi. Come closer. You're pretty. Oh, thank you. Ah.